Hello again everyone and welcome to the Weather Centre. The relentless heat continues today over almost all of South Africa, and while it's already hot in Gauteng, temperatures will be rising even higher over the next couple of days. But the good news is that by this weekend, wetter and cooler conditions will be settling in over the eastern parts of the country. A quick look at yesterday's satellite loop, and there were thunder showers that popped up into the central parts. They were very isolated and they also dissipated quickly after sunset, and it was dry overnight for much of the country when fog developed along the west coast, but it also became cloudy along the south coast, and by this morning there were a few drops of light rain in places, including around Port Elizabeth. A look at the alerts for today, and there are two for this afternoon, and the first is a high fire danger warning affecting almost all of western South Africa, with runaway fires possible in that area, and the second is the advisory for the continuation of the heat wave all the way through to Thursday for much of the central and western parts, but we will see temperatures starting to drop off already tomorrow in the far west of the country, but continuing in Gauteng and the northwest. Let's take a look at the synoptic analysis for today. Extremely high temperatures under mainly clear conditions in the far west. It will become partly cloudy during the course of the afternoon, especially for the central parts. Very patchy thunder showers in that area, while it will be mainly clear today over the far eastern parts where it remains dry once again. Partly cloudy weather returns to the south coast after this morning's very cloudy conditions in that area. Taking a look at the rainfall probabilities, and there we see the patchy thunder showers for Bloemfontein towards Kimberley, as well as the areas north of Appington. A somewhat better chance for a few thunder showers over Lesotho and the mountainous areas of the Eastern Cape. We could see the odd thunder shower reaching parts of the Eastern Cape coastline later on today. Dry in the far east of the country, including much of KZN, the Western Cape, and certainly dry in Gauteng, Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Light winds will affect most of the interior for this afternoon, while freshening northeasterly winds are likely along the KZN coastline for both Durban and Richards Bay. And here are those temperatures for this afternoon, and there we see almost all areas in the mid to upper 30s, low 40s over the western interior, Appington at 44 degrees this afternoon. The only areas below 30 today are expected to be along parts of the southern and western coastline, Port Elizabeth at 28, while East London reaches a high of 29. A look ahead for Johannesburg, and as already mentioned, temperatures will be rising even further in Gauteng over the next couple of days. Potentially record-breaking heat possible on Thursday afternoon, although there is a possibility for thunder showers. And towards the weekend, temperatures drop off, increased cloud cover and a higher likelihood for rainfall over the city. Wednesday afternoon will be extremely hot once again for many parts of the interior, cooler over parts of the western and eastern Cape with a cold front moving through. And by Thursday, wetter and cooler conditions spread up the east coast of the country, and the extreme heat gets worse for Gauteng.